CNAs at Nexus Neurorecovery are the backbone of what we do. They function as the heavy lifting and they do all the dirty work, literally and figuratively, that we forget patients need. So they function as everything from basic caregiver to support system, and in most cases to surrogate family members from time to time. CNA work is the same in every setting, but the setting at Nexus Neurorecovery Center is what makes being a CNA different out here. You get to see patients for longer periods of time. It's not just providing care for them, but it's really walking with them through their recovery journey. You see patients come in a motorized power chair and you see them leave walking, but you're part of making that happen. You're not just giving them a bath, you're reminding them how to give themselves a bath and helping them reprogram their brain so that they can return to a life of productivity and meaning.
One of the challenges that CNAs face is feeling perhaps unappreciated, not being recognized for the role that they play and how important it is. It's also maybe feeling as if they are underpaid, but the pros of this is if you are people-centric, then that's truly fulfilling no matter what the price tag is, right? And so that you are able to use that as your a motivation to the way in which you administer care. A typical day for a CNA, especially if you work in my house, which is a Somerset house, which is for our long-term care patients, it consists of wake-up time. So they're the first face. You are the first face that they will see, right? And of course, administering basic ADLs, hygiene, combing their hair, brushing their teeth, all of that, assisting the nurses in their medication routine, as well as getting them ready for breakfast and preparing them for their day where they will go to programming, and they will spend at programming from 9 till 3, but you're also participating in that activity as well. Once they arrive back to their houses, then that's where we're preparing for dinner, we're preparing for a snack, we're doing in-home exercise activities. We're just, they're just enjoying being at home because this is where they live, right? So for our long-term care residents, yes. And getting them prepared for their nighttime routine, shower, etc. So that's a typical day.
The CNAs and the LSS staff, like the direct care staff, to me, the most important thing that we can do out here is get to know the residents on a personal level. And they have that opportunity, probably better than anyone else out here. They are the first bright smile that a resident sees in the morning, and usually they're the last warm touch that they get before they go to bed. And so having that opportunity to see them every day at their best, at their worst, they have a great way to make each day a little bit better for our residents, and maybe a little bit better than the day before. Because having the residents know someone that knows their preferences, their likes and their dislikes, and being able to bring that familiarity to them really sets up the foundation for them to recover and start on that healing journey. So being with them every day and getting to know them on such a personal level, being able to know what their preferences are, what their likes are. I think the thing that we have to keep in mind here is that the residents that are here are just like you and me. They were living their lives and they were working, they were going to school, they were enjoying their hobbies, and then one day their lives changed in an instant. So they're still the same person. They still have those interests and those hobbies and all of those things, but it's just harder for us to get to know them on that level. And having the CNAs really care about the person and be with them night and day, really getting to know them and their families, they can make the biggest difference in making their stay here much more meaningful and enjoyable.
CNAs are part of the culture at Nexus Neurorecovery Center in a way that is different than anywhere else. We like to call ourselves a prosthetic environment, in that we support our residents and we provide them structure to really learn the task that they're being taught when they're in programming and clinical time, so that they can carry it over and eventually go home.
The CNAs get to know the families. Again, they get to know the residents on a very personal level, and a lot of that has to do with the families as well. They get to know the families, especially the ones that come in frequently every day at a certain time or every weekend. And they get to know those preferences. They get to know the individual, who they were before their injury or their illness. And I think that is so vital to being able to make the residents stay here and their experience here a lot more meaningful.
The best CNAs to come work at Nexus Neurorecovery Center are the ones who love the work, because the residents aren't always easy and the work isn't always easy. But when you have a passion for what you're doing, you find the joy in every day.
A successful CNA here at Nexus has to have a heart for and a passion for people. And for people of all different abilities, people of all different beliefs, cultures. They just have to have a heart for people, and know that what they're doing truly is making a difference in their lives.
Committed, perceptive, take ownership, accountability, empathy. If you are not self-motivated, if you're not disciplined, if you run away from challenges, then this is definitely not the place for you.
The Nexus feel is a very family feel, but it still has some of the perks of being a larger company as well. But the great thing, I think, is we get to do things a little bit quicker. There's not as much red tape. We can move through processes and ideas a little faster than sometimes the larger corporations.
Patients or residents who are served at Nexus Neurorecovery Center have all had some sort of neurological injury, whether it's a stroke or a spinal cord injury, or maybe they've had an accident at work, or they had an accident where they lost oxygen to their brain for a long time, and some sort of acquired brain injury as well. So they all work through their recovery at different speeds. Some of them have behavioral issues. We like to say we take the ones that can't go anywhere else.
It's that mutual respect. They know what I bring, and they respect that. And they bring they know what they bring, and I respect that. And we work together. See, I believe that why companies do not work is because when you're working within an organization, it is not an individual pursuit. It's shared pursuit. And once you have that mindset in understanding, going to school is an individual pursuit. And you get your accomplishments, and that's great. But the minute you start, you have to be able to collaborate. You have to be able to be a united team. Understand that where you fall short, oh, I'm good at this, so the boat is still going to keep afloat. We're not sinking here. I will start with the patients. I enjoy bringing meaning back into their lives after such a traumatic experience. That's what really makes me feel well. And also working with people who who we share the same pursuits with. Read the book by Dr. Cassidy so that you can understand what his vision is, and then you align yourself to what his vision is. That's what's been around for all this time. So once you are in alignment, then even the way in which you speak to the resident, the way in which you speak to your peers, the way in which you take direction from, you know, administration and what their expectations are, you get it. It's an easy flow. I don't have bad days. I have days, every day I go home and I know that I have 14 residents that I am responsible for. And it's a puzzle. Okay, so connect the dots. I don't know what the picture we're trying to create yet, but I know that all we're trying to do is get to the next dot. And that's how I view working here every single day.